Gemini, this month brings a truth you can no longer ignore. Something you've sensed for a while suddenly becomes crystal clear. And once it does, everything starts moving fast. Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to your February monthly general intuitive tarot reading. If you're new here, this is Universal Wisdom Tarot. And if you're returning, thank you so much for being here again. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you never miss your spiritual guidance. Breaking a pattern changes the trajectory of the entire month. And growth follows the moment you stop denying what you already know. I know you're dying to hear more, so let's get into it. Hey there, Gemini. I have already asked for blessings for your reading. So what we're going to do is we're just going to jump straight into your messages. Apologies for my voice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out all the cards first, and then we can connect to the messages, okay? So let's get into it. All right, my Gemini friends, let's talk. And first of all, let me apologize for the light on my table. I am going to walk you through the cards anyway, so I know this one's kind of not so clear, but I'll tell you what it is so you'll know. And then if you need to see it, I'll hold it up a little closer if the need arises. Okay, we're going to see what you have here, right? So you have the High Priestess being clarified by Judgment, King of Pentacles, and Queen of Wands. You also have the Ace of Swords, that's clarified by the Four of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Six of Cups. And then you have the Empress, that's this card here, clarified by the Queen of Cups, the Two of Cups, and Justice. And then you have the Eight of Wands, and that's clarified by the King of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. Of course, at the bottom of the deck here is your overarching energy. This is the theme of your month, and it just so happens to be the Devil. So, my friends, February is an interesting month for you. I feel like you are kind of getting out of some highly social external activity phase, or something that you're sort of scattered maybe for some of you, and trying to get into a far more strategic and intentional period of time. Okay, let's put it that way. I'm going to say, so this can be in any area of your life, your career, your whatever it might be. I feel like you're trying to establish something for the long-term goals, and for obviously the life that you're building, but behind the scenes, right? So I feel like what you're doing here is you're trying to make some calculated move of some sort, all right? Now, again, that can be in any area of your life. And if you've been scattered, now you're trying to focus more. If you've been all over the place with all of this external activity and social activity and whatever, now you're going to buckle down and focus in on your goals. So you might be spending more time in focused work or focused vision towards your long-term goals. So I feel like, again, this could be any area of your life, but your business goals or your personal goals or your personal development goals, right? Now, when people see the devil, the first thing they think is fear, okay? But it's not about fear. And you can see on this one, I mean, this character is in a cage, okay? So it's not so much about the limitation of being in that cage, because the cage door is open, right? It's about recognizing that you can break free and from whatever and change what you're trying to do. And it's about what has a hold on you, what has a hold on your time, what has a hold on your attention, what's holding your energy, and what's holding your energy back, and choosing to redirect it, okay? So this is a month where I'm going to say where the dreams stop living in your head and they start becoming actionable, okay? This is why I say it's a calculated move. Now, since you're starting off with the High Priestess over here, you may feel a little less interested in that, like I said, that constant social interaction or whatever, you've been doing or what you've been drawn into, okay? And actually draw yourself into something, as I said, something more focused. Now, this focus could be business related because you do have the King of Pentacles here as your clarifier. But the King of Pentacles is about, an energy of really good business, right? A good businessman, somebody that can make a lot of money. But it's certainly about success and success in the material world. So if that's what you're being drawn toward more strategically, then so be it, okay? But I also feel like you're trying to use that intuitive ability of the High Priestess to know when you do the difference between that and this Queen of Wands. Because the Queen of Wands gets her hands into everything, and she is a social character, okay? So it's like kind of deciding how much social, how much business, or how much, play hard, work hard, or play hard, work less, or, or work more, play less, okay? So you're just trying to find that balance, which then is like in alignment with this Judgment, right? Judgment being the card of, sort of reviving yourself with this new move, with this calculated move, with this, trying to redirect your energy and your thoughts and your focus towards something that is going to pay off in the long term for you, all right? So I feel like you are going to be doing more reflecting, more planning, maybe spending more time in solitude and not in the social whatever that's going on around you. I feel like you're highly aware, okay? So that makes you feel like you'll know what's aligned for you and what isn't aligned for you, or what doesn't align for you, let's say. Because with the High Priestess, you are using your, let's say, your powers of intuitive discernment, okay? You're becoming, I'm just going to say, you're becoming more selective, right, about who has access to your energy and to your ideas, because let's not forget that devil, right? The devil is right there. So with this High Priestess, you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, do I want to get stuck in habits? Do I want to get stuck in social patterns? Those are the things, the distractions. Those are the things that are keeping you chained to that devil, right? Those are the things that keep you busy, and that's great, but they may not be fulfilling And they certainly may not be directed toward your long-term goals. So in other words, they're taking you off your path, okay? So this is where I see that you're pulling your energy inward, and you're probably doing it on purpose because you know you need to go toward those long-term goals, and you just either don't have the method, the madness to do it, or you need to put the focus there in order to start buckling down and getting to it, all right? So really deciding on how you make this calculated move, all right? Now, by the second week, Ace of Swords here, you're really starting to cut through the confusion, which is great. You're starting to put a strategy in place. That's that Seven of Swords, okay? You're starting to cut through. You may not have fully cut through it, because if you look at this Four of Pentacles, the universe is telling you, here's the strategy, here's the new approach, here's the new thinking, right? Here's what you need to do. And maybe due to some disappointment in the past, you're not either seeing it or you're not ready to take it, all right? But you're just starting, I think, to come out of that fog of what it is that you're trying to, what you're trying to focus in on. But definitely this is the sort of the time where you start to have the clear focus, if you will, or a breakthrough for clear decisions, maybe some honest conversations, maybe defining goals with precisions, maybe thinking about the past, because you have this Six of Cups here as the clarifier, saying, okay, what did I have in the past? Was it good? Do I want that in the future? Ace of Swords, new beginning. Do I, what did I have in the past? Good. Let me make sure that the new beginning includes that. Okay. So definitely getting some clear-cut ideas going on there in the second week. All right. I feel like for somebody, and again, won't be for everybody, but for some of you at least, you're going to get a realization about what you want to build and what needs to stop in order for that to happen, right? Because we can't do everything. We can't run with 5 different plans and put energy to 5 different things. We get nowhere with 5 different things, right? Okay, so I would say definitely this is the week where your ideas become a plan for sure. Now, for some of you, I feel like you have this ability to attract what you want, and that really makes you unstoppable with this Ace of Wands, right? Because for me, the Ace of Wands is like King Arthur when he pulls the sword from the stone. Like when that guy pulls that sword out, he completely changes his life, right? He goes from this guy who doesn't really think he's, anybody special, to becoming this great king. And he takes command of his destiny, and he takes command of, he becomes the master of his domain. Okay, so I feel it sort of for some of you. This is where you really become unstoppable with that Ace of Swords, that clarity of mind, those new thoughts, that whatever that you're getting in that week. All right. And I feel like for somebody, this is very important too, if your intention is to climb the corporate ladder. Okay, if that's what your long-term goal is and you want to do this, then I feel like this is the time for you to really jump on that energy of being unstoppable. Okay. I do feel for someone that a leadership role opens up. That's why I say jump on it. And my guides are telling me that if you really want that, then, step up, throw your hat into into the ring or whatever. If there's others there with competition, just take the reins and start riding with this. All right, the light is fixed a little bit now, Gemini, so I hope that you can see the cards a little bit better. I changed the setting on the light a little bit. I paused the video and I came back to fix that for you. All right, so now we get into that Empress, so you should be able to see that Empress card now. That's clarified by the Queen of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Justice card. This is the third week, right, where things start to take shape with the Empress. And I find that you're definitely nurturing something that is putting you on the path of a new direction, right? That is the Queen of Cups. She keeps her eye on the prize. She very directly has her eye on this cup. She has her eye on the prize, right? And she says, I'm not taking my eyes off that thing. Okay, so you're definitely doing that, and it's putting you on the right direction. You could be at this time sort of moving into a new creative environment for some of you, maybe a new social circle that supports your growth, okay, rather than one that distracts from it. And I feel like you're in a, let's say, a conscious creation mode. You are having you know, that could be that Two of Cups. There could be that new social situation, or that new you know, moving into that new creative environment, or something between you and yourself there, okay? But I feel like you're in this, also in this learning mode. There's that Justice card, all right? That Justice clarifier is you're in this this learning that that I feel like discipline doesn't have to feel restrictive for you, okay? So now that you know what your long-term goals are, and you know what path you have to take, and now you start moving toward it, this is where you realize, okay, it doesn't have to be so disciplined. I can actually get back to a little bit of a social life. So you realize you need to kind of cut things out, focus, take command, and then you can get out there a little bit if you want. You're closing the month with the Eight of Wands, right? And that confirms that you're committing yourself to things, and things that might be moving quickly for you. So if this month didn't feel like it was moving, or January didn't feel like it was moving, well, now February, maybe at the end of the month, things will start to feel like they quicken, that the pace quickens, all right? So fast progress, increased communication, probably around your goals, right? You know, you do have Knights, so you're in this, you know, action Jackson, deciding on what is the next step. You have this King of Wands who's seeing the 30,000-foot view and the big picture, right? Ready to take some leadership there, okay? And, you know, expect some opportunities to arrive because, you know, you're finally ready to jump on them, all right? That is that Eight of Cups. You're finally ready to say, all right, let's go. I'm ready. Let's take it. Let's go in that direction. Let me take a walk toward what I really want. And so your energy kind of feels a little bit better, I feel, at the end of the month than maybe it did at the beginning of the month. And you know, your energy is at this point an energy of more purposeful energy, is what I want to say. Okay, so then you'll be engaging in your projects and conversations that move you forward instead of those that are pulling you off the track. All right, Gemini, let me get you an animal spirit oracle card. Card, please, for Gemini. All right, Gemini, you have this lizard regeneration. There it is. Beautiful, beautiful card. And I'm going to read to you what it says. It says, as a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt, embrace your transformation, put on your new cloak. You are a master of regeneration. That's a very beautiful way to end your reading. I hope that something resonates in this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Until then, please know I am, as always, wishing you divine light and love.